What if the most famous woman in the world is lying to us? Not maliciously, not to deceive us, but as an art form. With the tortured poet department, Taylor Swift didn't just give us a breakup album. She gave us a literary masterpiece in an unreliable narration. And in this video, I'm going to prove it. Hello everyone and welcome to the Pop Culture PhD, where we read pop culture as if it were literature. My name is Farishta. I'm a PhD student in English. I spend my days analyzing novels, poems, and literary theory. But I spend my nights listening to pop music, especially Taylor Swift. And my argument today is very simple. I argue that to fully understand the tortured poets department, we can't just read it as a diary. We have to read it as a novel with one of the most fascinating and complex characters at its center, a character named Taylor Swift. So first, let's talk about an unreliable narrator. What exactly is an unreliable narrator? In literature, it's usually the storyteller whose credibility is compromised. They might be naive, they might be lying, they might be biased, or they might be constructing a version of events that serves their own purpose. For example, think of the Garnets in The Turn of the Screw, where we can't be sure if ghosts are real or not. An unreliable narrator doesn't just tell a story, they force us, the reader, to question the very nature of truth. They make us an active participant, and this is exactly the game Taylor Swift playing on the tortured poet department. Okay, so let's break down the evidence. I see three key literary techniques she uses to build this unreliable persona. First, the dramatic and almost theatrical hyperbole. This isn't just sadness, it's a Greek tragedy. For example, let's talk about Who is Afraid of Little Old Me, which is one of my favorite songs. In this song, she says, I was tame, I was gentle, till the circus life made me mean. Don't you worry, folks, we took out all her teeth. You can see that this isn't just a literal description. It's a grand Gothic performance of victimhood. She's casting herself as a caged animal. A reliable narrator would probably say that was hard, but Taylor creates a whole horror movie. Let's talk about the second technique, which is the contradictions. She masterfully presents contradictions, often in the same song. She's both the victim and the one holding all power. For example, take The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. She paints a picture of being utterly destroyed by someone. She says, you're kicked out of the stage lights, but you're still performing. But the entire song is a cold, calculated, and vicious takedown. She's weeping, but she's also meticulously gathering her evidence and delivering a closing arguments. She's heartbroken, but she's also in complete control of the narrative. Which one is the real Taylor? The unreliable narrator shows us both and lets us decide. And finally, the most crucial piece of evidence, she tells us she's performing. She winks at the audience. In I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, she gives us the ultimate confession of a performer. Cause I'm a real tough kid. I can handle my shit. They said, babe, you gotta fake it till you make it. And I did. This is a narrator pulling back the curtain. She's explicitly separating the internal reality, being heartbroken, from the external performance, the smiling star on stage, or the showgirl. She's not just telling us the story, she's telling us how she told the story. That is a classic move of a narrator who is fully in control of their own myth. Now, the simple reading of this album is that it's just her diary, a raw and honest confession. And of course, it's rooted in her real emotion. But the genius of Taylor Swift isn't just that she feels things, it's that she's the world's greatest architect of her own narrative. On the tortured poet department, she isn't just giving us her feelings, she's crafting a character. The tortured poet. who is a dramatic, contradictory, and hyper-aware of her own audience. She has built a persona so compelling that we forget it is a persona. She isn't just the poet, she's the editor, the publisher, and the critic all at once. And by making us question what is real and what is performance, she makes us all active readers in her story. That isn't just good songwriter, it's brilliant literature. So, what do you think? Do you agree with me that Taylor Swift is an unreliable narrator, or do you read the album differently? I would love to hear your theories in the comments below. And also, if you enjoyed this deep dive and want to keep reading pop culture like you are in a graduate seminar course, please hit that subscribe button and turn on notification. It would mean the world to me. Also, tell me, what would you like to discuss for the next video? Thanks for watching. Class dismissed.